are listening to the Starter Girls podcast with Jennifer Loading. Whether you are starting a project, starting a business, starting a brand, or starting a movement, we are here to talk about it. And I'm super excited today. I've got Tammy Smith on the show. She is the creator of hashtag TGIT. Thank God it's today. So welcome to the show, Tammy. Super excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so honored to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm going to tell our listeners real quick just a little bit about you, and then we will jump in and start chatting. So the TGIT hashtag that Tammy has created is quickly becoming a growing movement on social media. And I'm going to let her talk about that here in a few minutes. She has a background in both public relations and the music and entertainment industry, which is so awesome because my producer over here is probably going to want to listen to this too. And so also Tammy is a motivational and inspirational speaker, a vlogger, and a mom of 6. Wow. You're a busy, busy lady. Her passion is to bringing positivity and hope to hurting people every day. So welcome to the show, Tammy. We're super excited to get to know you and learn about you and what you've got going on. So I want to jump into this really quick, and I want to talk about this movement that you're creating. So tell us a little bit about this, what you're doing and how this kind of came about for you.
Well, I was going through a major life transition. I actually had a near-death experience, is what I will say. And so I decided to take that situation and turn it into a positive thing. I was like, what can I glean from this? What can I learn from this? And how can I help other people with it? Instead of why did this happen, it became a how can I help others? And so I literally was working out one day, and it was a Friday, and I was like, oh, TGIF, thank God it's Friday. And I just stopped in my tracks, and I was like, wait a minute, I almost didn't see Friday. And so many people never do see Friday or the next day because your whole life can change in one day. And that's when it hit me. I was like, it's TGIT. It should be, thank God it's today. Every day should be a gift to you. And so I jumped on my Facebook Live and started sharing with all of my friends and fans and followers, and it resonated, and they went crazy. They were like, I love it. That is so true. Such a great mentality. And that's how it all started.
That's so awesome. That's awesome. So tell us what you're doing. I guess so you do this vlogging. These are your videos, right? And are you doing these like every single day? Like I've seen some of your stuff. So I'm seeing some of the things that are going on in there, but you're creating this movement. Didn't you tell me like you were like doing something fun with this hashtag thing, kind of making it your brand, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, it's my baby. That's what I call it. And I trademarked both TGIT and Thank God It's Today. They are mine. And so I immediately got on it. And like I said, it's really taking off, and the fans love it, and people are sharing it. And so I'm in the process of a merch line and writing a book, and there's just so much going on. It's just like insane, and it's just amazing. Like the vlogs, pardon me, the vlogs, yes, I try to do those. I used to do them like maybe twice weekly pre-COVID, but I got so many messages of people being severely depressed and even suicidal. So I ramped it up. I was like, okay, I'm going to do at least Monday through Friday, and then I'll take the weekends and spend that time with my kids then.
I love that. I love that. And I do some videos. I always, I'm the blogger. Like I like writing, and I do my videos through my podcast, but I think you and I have some, parallels here. We're both in the, I guess, empowering people and helping people, different stories that brought us through to that, but we're doing very similar things and using the media platform to be able to get that out there. And so I think what you're doing is incredible, and people do, there's so much going on right now in the world. And I think that people are looking for strong people that they can resonate with, and we can share those messages and get them out there and give people hope. And so I think that's incredible that, that you've taken your, whatever this tragedy was for you, you were able to find something to, I call it the silver lining in that, take something from that and say, hey, how can I pour back into people and give back what I learned and maybe help others? So I love that. I think that's incredible. Do you have kind of an ideal listener, or are you finding that you've got just kind of a wide variety of people that are picking up with your message?
It is a variety. People from all over the world are actually following TGIT, and I'm just like in awe. I have, people that watch the videos from Australia, the United Kingdom, France. I mean, people are everywhere, and I'm just blown away. Africa, all over the whole world, and it resonates with every person. I mean, it's not it's not something that's just for somebody that's down or sad. It's for any person. Even a child can, be grateful for that day. And of course, they're usually more, in tune with that than we are.
Right.
It's something that, yeah, resonates really with everyone. And I love it because I get to share it everywhere I go. People ask me, what's this TGIT thing? And I share it everywhere: airports, grocery stores, any and every person that I come into contact with. I'm just like letting them know, be grateful for today, because today is all we're promised. And you don't even know if you'll see the end of that day. And that's even, like I said, more relevant now with everything that's going on in the world. The timing couldn't have been more perfect for this message.
I agree with you 100%. So I love that. I think it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And yes, and with everything going on, I think the positivity is what we need. It's what we really need. There's so much negative. I mean, if you pull up, I get so just when I open Facebook, I have to get in there for a very minute. It's like I got to put my podcast out there, whatever business post needs to go in there, and I just have to get out. Like I have to remove myself because there is so much going on in there right now that we are inundated with so much negative information, and I think I always talk about, I tell when I'm coaching, I'm like, stay away from the news, just stay away because, you will hear all this stuff. And if that's all you're hearing every single day, it just really starts eating at you. It consumes you. And so I think your messages are so beautiful and perfect in timing because we do need that positivity. We need that to go forward and just keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting it out there and letting people hear it because it needs to be out there. You know what I mean? So I think it's incredible, incredible, incredible. So you mentioned in your bio, we talked a little bit about, you have a background in public relations and in the music industry and entertainment. Do you mind telling us a little bit about that? I'm interested to know
Not
what
at all.
your background is.
I used to have a company called Martin 3 Enterprises, and my oldest daughter, I saw a gift in her very early on, my oldest child actually, and she really had this gift of music and her voice. So I actually homeschooled her, and then I started taking her all over for all of the training, and then I became like, the person that did all of her public relations, everything with radio stations, with booking, with her website. So that was my job. That was my primary job: marketing, creating hashtags, creating, everything for her musician, artistry. And it's crazy because all of that now comes into play for my own line of work. Like it taught me everything I need to know for what I'm doing currently. So it's just so neat how things work out like that. I believe there are no coincidences. I believe I was trained in all of that just for this moment, for such a time as this. So I'm so grateful for that and all the connections that I've made and learning those skills and learning, public relations and marketing and all of that. And the music industry is one of the toughest industries. It really is. So it was just such an amazing learning experience, and I'm very grateful for that background.
That's so awesome. My producer friend back here was shaking his head when you said that about the music industry. He's back here going, yes. Yep. So no, and I think that's awesome. Yeah, you've had to, you've worn many hats here, but I will go back to saying something about when you said, when you were working with your daughter and helping her and how the things that you were doing there kind of prepared you for what you're doing now. I was, I had a girl on my show, I don't know, a few months ago. And one of the things she said, and it kind of stuck with me, is that your strengths always find you. And even I think in those moments where, you may go to school or you may do something else for a while, but somehow wherever you're gifted, those strengths tend to come back and they find you, they locate you, and and your strength is, doing these things, creating and being creative and putting these messages out there and resonating with people. And so I think that's an awesome thing. So I love it.
In the public's eye and doing the social media, like I said, the website design, writing by the bios and all of that stuff, was all on me. And then now, like I said, I'm using that training for what I'm actually creating now. So it's just, like you said, your gifts make room for you, right?
They find you. Yes, they do. It's so funny because I talk about this, and Chris knows this. He's back there and he's going to laugh at me because I always talk about this, that, when I went to school to study accounting, and which is boring, like really boring. Like, how did I do that? I have no idea. But you know what's interesting is I was always really good at math and science. Those were my strong subjects. I hated writing, I hated reading, I hated public speaking, all of that stuff. And it's so bizarre to me now because all those things that I really never thought I liked are the things that I really enjoy doing now. Like I get excited when I'm making, thumbnails for my videos. You're like, when I get to be creative with things, that's when I get really excited. Or when I'm coming up with titles for the podcast that I'm putting out, or what are the content we're going to talk about. That's the stuff that really gets me excited. And so it's just interesting, how we go through life and, we do these things and I feel like, there's always these plans that we're told we've got to follow. We've got to do this because this is where the money is. And this is what we're supposed to get married, have kids, do all these things in a pattern. And those aren't really, we don't end up really sticking to all of those things. We end up going different directions. And I think that's the beauty of it, is that we get to grow and morph. And at the end of the day, your strengths find you. They come back to find you. So I think it's an awesome thing. So you're a mom of 6, which I think is just incredible. How old are all these kiddos that you have?
Well, everybody's about to have a summer birthday. So my oldest is about 26, and then I have my son tomorrow turns 24. One just turned 22. I have a daughter that just turned 19 in March. My other son turns 14 on Friday, and my youngest is 12 and a half. So she'll be 13.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You've got them all over. I love it. No, I love it. I was laughing because I have 3 and my oldest is 20. She'll be 24 this year. My youngest just turned 16. They were 8 years apart. And I thought that was crazy. It was almost like a generation apart. They're like, and they are so much alike, which is so weird. They're like so far apart, but so much alike in personalities that they drive each other crazy. But yeah, you are definitely a busy mom for sure. So
yes.
you're
And the PTO mom, like I'm the one that volunteers for every party, for every school dance. I'm the pizza mom. Like I sling the pizza, like 100 pizzas are all mine, and I'm like dishing them out like crazy. So yeah, I'm involved in everything. My hands in everything. Volunteering at the high school football games, like serving there at the concession stand. Like I'm that mom. I'm there for everything.
I love it, Tammy. So give us because I have a lot of moms that come in and listen to this, and they're all different. I mean, everybody's different. So do you have maybe like a little tip or something about maybe like on a work-life balance here? Because you're juggling, being a mom and you've got kids that are adults, but you've got young ones too that are still in the home. And so you are a full-time mom still. And that is a job in itself. I don't discredit that at all because I know it's a job. But then you're also doing this other, you're creating this brand and doing this thing. So you're juggling this. So do you have any like little tips or things that are working for you and, with that balance for both?
Absolutely. As you heard me say earlier, I am more than happy to do my videos, all of my things that I do for TGIT and for my passion and my heart, during Monday through Friday. But I am very adamant about doing interviews or anything, on the weekend. It's no, I just, I'm like, I'm off limits, I'm off that time that is dedicated to my family. And so I always make sure I do that. You have to have that balance. You must. They have to have my undivided attention. Like last night, we had movie time. We cook together. We do all of those things so that it's, that mom and kids time. So I make sure they have my undivided attention every time throughout the day. And then I'll have my dedicated time for interviews. Like they know, hey, mom's doing an interview really quick. And then we're going to go do a little shopping or we're going to do whatever we're going to do. So yeah, I just say, make sure you set that family time aside. And then they will, when you spend that quality time with your children, they are glad to say, oh, hey, mom's doing an interview. So, she'll be done in an hour and there's no problem with that. So just make sure you spend the quality time with them and let them know they're the most important thing. Everything else comes second to that.
I love that, Tammy. That's awesome. I love that. And I agree with you 100% on that. It's about quality and not the quantity. So you spend quality time, you put it in the right places, and you can go where you need to go when you need to go, right? So This is a kind of to get you thinking a little bit. And I didn't really put this in the questions that I sent you, but I like this one. So in your eyes, how do you, or in your thoughts, how do you define success? What does success look like for you?
Success is for me a couple of things. Number one, peace in my life. If I don't have peace in my life, then I'm not successful, because if something is causing me stress and anxiety, that's not a definition of success. Having peace in my life is number one. I say peace is priceless. So, above all, when I have peace in my life, I know I'm right where I need to be. And the second thing would be that happiness. Again, if you have that stress and anxiety, something's off. So you have to kind of like, if that's present, you have to kind of pull back and kind of reflect and take that time to figure out what's really going on and what's really important.
I can resonate with that, because that's how I would define it too. I would say, and add to that, even if you can pursue a passion and have all that, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Because it's interesting, because, I think about this. I mentioned this in one of the other shows. I'm taking this whole course on, and I'm not really doing it for any reason other than just to take it. I wanted to take it, and it's a life of happiness and fulfillment. And a lot of the stuff I already know. It's talking about gratitude journaling and all of this stuff.
Yes.
And so they're talking about all these things about, like being happy, but don't pursue being happy. Work on being happy, but don't necessarily pursue it, because then you do all these things that you don't need to. And the thing they talk about in there is they did this study, and they found that, a lot of times people would pick, if they had to pick jobs, whether it was based on financial or the peace, they would pick the peace, but oftentimes they took the job for financial reasons. So
Absolutely.
I'm with you in that I'm at the point in my life where, for me, it's about peace. I'm not going to do something that is going to compromise my values or compromise my sanity. And it
Right.
needs to keep me peaceful, and if it's not, I have to reevaluate it. Why am I doing it?
Yeah. I can definitely say this. This is a quote that you can always, always just remember that I said this. You can have everything money can buy, but you can have nothing. So if you have everything money can buy, but you don't have that peace, and you don't have happiness and joy and love, then you have nothing.
Right.
And all the things that you can't see are far more important than the things that you can see, that you can touch. So
Yeah.
that's my little 2 cents worth on that one.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So who would you say has been, and you can have more than one, maybe an influencer for you?
Well, definitely, I'm going to say number one on earth is my mom. She is such a strong woman. She, came from like, she was born in the 1950s, and to a single mom, that was a big no-no. And so she had to overcome that. And, she like dropped out of high school. And then as she was older, she went back and got a GED, and then became a teacher of all things.
Wow.
And then she special education teacher, and now she is a retired special education teacher. And so I look at that and I'm like, wow, you can do anything. That just shows me, like, wow, my mom was nothing. She came from nothing, and then went back and became a great influencer to other people. She still has students that call her and ask to go to lunch with her and to see her. She's very influential in her community, and that speaks so much to me. I love knowing, I love comeback stories. I'm always for the underdog, always. Just somebody that came from nothing and can make something of their life and touch other people, especially that. You're touching other people, you're leaving a mark in the world. And so I saw that growing up. And I would have to say that my mom is definitely my number one influencer. Other than that, I'm going to have to say, of course, Jesus, because I try to be like him and try to share that love everywhere I go.
I love that, Tammy. No, and I'm like you. I love those stories where people have overcome. To me, it shows that people they have grit. I mean, they when you can come out of something, and when you can take that and then use that, like you said, to impact other people. That's the beauty. When you can take those lessons and say, "Here's the things that happened to me. Here's what I did. Don't make these same mistakes. I can show you something differently." That's where the power comes in. So I think that's incredible. Kudos to your mom. That's an amazing story. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. So I'm going to do some fun questions with you. These are what I call like my rapid fire. They're just fun. They're easy. And it's just to kind of let people get to know you a little bit more. So aside from doing all your vlogging and motivating and inspiring, what else do you like to do for fun?
Oh, for fun, I love to travel. I am a huge travel person. I just want to see as much as I can see while I'm here, because of, thank God it's today, and having that near death experience. I was like, whoa, I may not be here tomorrow. So I can't just say, oh, I'll go, to New York City next week. So I actually just went at Christmas time. I just was like, okay, I'm going to go. And then I decided to go to Vegas for New Year's Eve and spend New Year's Eve in Vegas. And I decided to go see Washington, D.C. because I'd never been. So traveling is my number one love. Like, if that's the one thing I could do, it's definitely that. But if I'm here at home, it's definitely being by my pool and gardening. I love gardening. I love flowers, roses, trees, bushes, all that stuff. So definitely those things.
You're like a little ray of sunshine. You're so fun. I'm like smiling as I'm talking, I'm like smiling over here. I love it. I love it. So are you a cat or a dog person?
I'm a dog person. I have a beautiful Siberian Husky named Luna. She's solid white with baby blue eyes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I have a Luna too, but she's a cat and she's black cat.
Oh.
So I like the name Luna. So, and I bet she's a beautiful dog, I'm sure, with the Siberian Huskies. They're just beautiful. They're beautiful dogs. So.
And why, she's such a diva. She knows she's all that.
My Luna cat thinks she's a diva too. So maybe there's something with the Luna name there. I always laugh because we have this pit bull that we rescued. And when we got him in 2014, he absolutely hated cats because they meow and they make a squeaky. And terriers, they hear anything squeaky, they just want to rip it up. So every time my cats would come out, he would go nuts. Well, now he's getting older and he's kind of chilled out. So my Luna is very clever. And what she does is the dog will be sitting on the floor and she'll be on the bed. She just jumps right over him. She'll go right between his legs. She'll get like right next to him. It's almost like she's kind of trying to, be like, you can't move fast enough to catch me or something. So I'm like, what is up with these two? And then every once in a while, I'll catch them kind of eating cat treats together. I'm like, this is interesting. I'm like, the dog used to want to eat the cat. Now they're best buds. So whatever, right? All right. So are you a morning or night person?
Both. I am. I literally sleep with my blinds and drapes open. So I'm awake before sunrise every single day. And I literally wake up and say, good morning, God. Thank God it's today. Every single day of my life. I do that every morning. But I'm also that night owl, I like to be up and I love to see the moon and the stars and all of that. So I'm a rare one. I'm both.
Yeah, you're just going. You're like going all the time. You're just excited. I think you're passionate about what you're doing. And so, yeah, it's showing. You're glowing. It's showing in the way you're talking and everything. So I think that's awesome. Yay. What is your favorite food?
Steak or pizza. Just depends on the mood.
Those are so different. I like the steak. Right. I like pizza too. Do what?
Never. I'll never turn down pizza.
Yeah, I like pizza. I just don't do a lot of carbs, so I don't get to eat it very often. But I do like pizza. But steak, I really love steak. So I'm with you on that one. All right, and then summer or winter?
Summer.
I could see that. All right, then my
tan.
Right? Yes. You look like a summer girl, though. I like it. You look like a summer girl. Okay, so if you could be any character or any superhero for a day, what would you pick?
I have to say Wonder Woman. I mean, I was born in 1974, so I don't know if you remember Underoos, but
yes, I'm 72, so yes, I know Underoos. I don't look like I'm born that age, but I was born. I've been using a lot of collagen and cream. So
me too. Take great care of my skin, girl. But yes, I used to wear Wonder Woman underoos. And so Wonder Woman, she's like all that. She has so many powers and
Yep.
like the regenerative healing, ability. And she's a martial artist. So yeah, definitely Wonder
I'm
Woman.
glad
I
that you
love her.
said underoos because one day somebody did, I think, say Wonder Woman on here, and I didn't know if they were old enough to do underoos or not. And I said something about underoos, and I think Chris back here was shaking his head at me like this because he knew what underoos. Like, not everybody knows what underoos are, right? You know the people that know underoos. So
Yep.
I probably had some Wonder Woman underoos at one point. I'm
I
thinking
bet you
had some.
did.
I did. So yes, those were fun. They should bring them back with capes and everything.
I
You know.
agree. Adult version too.
We all should show up for when underoos for Halloween. This could make fun. They'd be like, "Oh,
Oh,
there's all the Generation Xers. They're all in underoos." So we'd all be
yeah.
targets, right? This is so fun. I love it. Though, no, and so Wonder Woman's great. I think she's great. So I think that's fun. So Tammy, if our listeners wanted to learn a little bit more about what you've got going on with the TGIT and see your video, your vlogging, all of that good stuff, where do they come find you at?
My major platform right now is going to be Facebook. I have a public fan page, and it's just called Tammy, Tammy. So you can find me there. And if you search for the hashtag TGIT, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and of course, Facebook.
That's awesome. All right. We'll be sure when this goes out, we'll get everything on there so that the listeners can come check it all out. And definitely, I would say to my listeners, if you're in, want some motivation, inspiration, check out her videos. They're fun. And she's extremely inspirational. And she loves what she does. And I think when you love what you do, it comes out, it exudes in what you're saying. And I think people can resonate with that. You know when somebody's phony and you know when somebody really is enjoying what they're doing. It comes out. And so I love what you're doing. And I love that you're positive and you're inspiring people and giving people some hope. I think that's awesome, with everything going on right now. So with that, Tammy, yes, thank you so much for being on the show. Sit tight. I'm going to wrap up here and then I want to chat with you before we hang up here. But I do want to say to our listeners, if you enjoy our show, be sure you give us a rating on both iTunes and Facebook because, of course, we can't do this without you. And hit the subscribe button on YouTube. There are other videos on there besides podcasts, so check it out. And with that, I'm going to wrap up with our mantra. It's a great day to be brave. You might as well start now. You have the power to change your circumstances any day you decide. Let today be that day. Rise up, be amazing, be you, do you. All right, you guys take care, be safe, and be kind to one another. We'll see you next time.